Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 20 career mode. And today obviously there's nothing to do right now, so we'll have to advance forward a week and that should finish the electronics on the research and development. Yes it does, so we'll start upgrading something else before we go to Finland. So obviously the frame, there's only one upgrade left on the frame. So I think I'll probably get that sorted because someone recommended to me that I upgrade the frame because the rear's kicking out quite a bit. So I'll upgrade this last part. And then we'll put everybody on here. Let's see how long it will take to do. 3 weeks. So it'll be 3 weeks. So without further ado then, we will head into Finland and I'll see you in free practice. So then the first free practice session is actually in wet track conditions. So I'll head to the next one because that's actually going to be dry. The race is going to be wet track and qualifying is cloudy. So we've got a different mixture of conditions this weekend at a track that I don't really know very well, so I don't think we're going to particularly do very well this weekend. So we're here then now in free practice 2, and obviously we've got to do the development test because we haven't quite got enough research data yet to be able to fully upgrade the bike, so we've got to keep doing it for now. So the first thing to do is the distance analysis. So we'll mount the recommended tyres, we'll fill up the fuel tank and we'll head out. Coming up towards the line then at the end of the distance analysis, we just managed to beat the time. I actually had to do it a few times. I think I had to do it about 3 times because I couldn't beat the time, but then I followed the AI round for a lap and sort of found some of the lines and I got on alright. So I got perfect on that now, but it took obviously quite a bit of time. There's only 24 minutes left in the session, but there should still be enough time to do everything else. So we've got to do a 49.2, which I have done a 48.8, but I think on my own, that's going to be a very, very difficult lap to try and do a 49.2, so hopefully we'll get some of the research data anyway. I'm not expecting to get all 5 of the laps valid, if I'm totally honest. So coming up towards the line then, we've just gone top of the session once again. I am very, very surprised about how that went. I got 5 valid laps and I topped the session twice, which is ridiculous. I don't know how I've managed to find this pace all of a sudden. I couldn't even beat the times earlier set in the distance analysis. I mean, obviously I'm only just faster, like I'm a couple tenths quicker. Before that I wasn't even a tenth above everybody, but it's nice to see I've actually got not too bad pace here. Once I started to pick up the lines and things, I followed the AI a couple of times, but then I'm also just starting to find the braking points and where to get on the throttle and stuff. Obviously it is still a new track. Yes, obviously I did it in Moto 3, but I think this is actually my first time ever doing it on a Moto 2 bike at all in the game. But anyway, the next thing to do is the quick lap simulation, where we need to do a 48.2, which we've already gone quicker than, so hopefully we can go and beat that time again. Through the last corner then of the quick lap analysis, out the last corner up towards the line there. What are we going to do here? Oh, it's quick lap simulation actually. 47.6 there, so we beat the time and we extend our lead at the top of the session. So that's all the development tests done, so we'll head into qualifying now. Obviously qualifying will be cloudy and then the race will be wet track, so it will be quite weird. Hopefully I can try and get pole. I wasn't expecting to actually have decent pace, but I've got not too bad pace now, so if I can try and get at least near the front, that would be nice. And then maybe we can see what we can do with the rain. It might play into our favour, it might not. But we'll head into qualifying now, and hopefully it does play into my favour. So obviously since this is the only dry free practice, this will be the combined free practices as well. We were 7 tenths ahead of Schrotter in second there. He managed to beat Dalla Porta as well. It's actually quite a big margin considering this track. I suppose the AI maybe aren't the best optimised. I remember when we first played this game that it was impossible to beat the AI here, and I was thinking the same thing in the session earlier on. But it seems like we've got decent pace, so hopefully we can actually try and beat them. So here then in qualifying, obviously we've got to change the tyres, put on a fresh set of softs, and obviously put the fuel down to 4 laps and then head out for a flying lap. I think one of the hardest parts of this circuit is the fact that there's no like sort of meter boards anywhere, so you sort of have to look for the white lines in the grass, which aren't even present at every corner for your braking zones. There's also something interesting that's changed since the last time we played that I played this circuit in career mode. It must have been in one of the updates. I'll point it out once we get there. So as we come towards the line then, to start, well actually we've already started our qualifying. I forgot how close the line is to the last corner actually, and I broke way too early for the first corner and well, bottled that first corner, probably the entire first sector because of that. It is really hard to find a consistent braking point. I really don't want to invalidate there. You can invalidate by just touching that grass, which is extremely, extremely harsh in my opinion. Firing it out of there then. Notice at the end of this straight the direction that my rider will stick his leg out. It is towards the left into a right-hander. We'll find out once I hit the brakes. So we're going down the straight. Personal best apparently. Hitting the brakes there. And you see stuck out his left leg. And I've gone in way too hot actually as well. Just took me by surprise, because that's why I've been braking in practice the entire time, and it was absolutely fine. I think maybe I went in it hot a couple of times, but that's when I missed the braking zone, but I was definitely focused on it there. Maybe I was too focused on the direction the leg was sticking out, but oh well, we're currently with 5th place, trying to get on the power, probably in the wrong gear through this corner. This qualifying lap has not been great at all. We're half a second off the AI, which we might be able to pull back because they are really bad in the last sector, and they're not... Well, actually, I thought initially they were OP in this sector, but they're actually not that great. It's just because I was riding the sector atrociously. So see, brake. I didn't actually turn in that early for 11. The rear was sort of kicking. So hopefully that'll be fixed with the frame upgrade. Obviously the rear does like to kick on this bike quite a bit, this speed up, of course. Well, the acceleration there was very smooth. So we're only 4/10 off. Now I don't think we're able to find that in the last sector, so we probably won't go pole position here, because I'm not going to do another lap after this. It'd be a bit unfair. So we flip the bike through 14, don't want to invalidate, very close to doing so though. Let's go towards the last corner. The AI take it a bit tight. I like to take it a little bit tighter than they do. Get on the power, up towards the line, bit of a wheelie. 0.7 laps of fuel left, over the line then. 3rd position then, I think that's where we're probably going to be for the Finnish GP. So we'll head to the end of qualifying then, and we'll see if we say 3rd. So we actually dropped to 4th place then in the end, so we're not quite on the front row, but we still met our qualifying goal, which is the 2nd row, so that's perfectly fine. Better than where we qualified last year for this race anyway, in Moto 3. So Della Porta was on pole by 30 thousandths of a second, ahead of Baldassarri, and then Tom Luthi further behind, 50 thousandths of a second off, and I was only a 10th off, same with Schrotter. So we're all very close at the front, and then obviously Andy Fried Isterhard managed to jump up into 6th place. How he's done that, I don't know, but I think us 5 will probably be escaping at the front, for a guess, considering the lack of pace a lot of the other riders had. Martin was 2.2 seconds off, but considering how bad that lap was, 1/10 off pole is not actually the end of the world. So we'll head onto the grid now then, and obviously it is going to be a wet track race, which could definitely throw some surprises up. So we're down here on the grid then, and obviously, like I said, it is a wet race. It's one of those things where I would like to have a harder tyre on the rear, but I can't. I have to go medium. It's the only choice in the wet conditions, unfortunately. So we'll just have to try and look after the tyre. This is probably not the track where he's spinning up the most, to be fair. A lot of it is long corners, which is basically why I struggle for pace here. Although we were top of that practice session, we're only a 10th off pole, so we're obviously not super slow. But we'll start the race now, and hopefully we can try and maybe gain some positions off the start and then see what we can do about defending. So then Della Porta on pole. I don't think he's actually started on pole yet, so Della Porta, can he try and get his first win here? Because I don't think he's actually won yet in this category. Lights on, away we go. Off the line, I've had a terrible start. We've lost the position to Schrotter. I think Isterhard's up the inside of us actually as well. Around the outside goes Fernandez, but we've managed to hang on to 5th place. We're back up into 4th. Della Porta and Della Porta and Baldassarri. Why is Della Porta going so slow? He's held up Baldassarri massively, and now we've sat Della Porta up a little bit by running a bit wide. Bastianini's up the inside, so is Baldassarri. We're on the power, so we're up into 3rd place now. Enea Bastianini in front of us. We're getting the slipstream on him. We're probably going to go past him. I'm still in power mode too. I completely forgot to turn it down because of all the chaos. But quite what was happening through that sort of 2nd turn there, why the AI were going so slow, well, particularly Della Porta holding up Baldassarri there really cost him. There's a crash behind. Stefano Manzi's down. Don't know if he's collected anybody else. It doesn't seem that way. It doesn't say he's collected anyone else, although the yellow flag is still out, so that probably indicates he has collected someone else, just didn't pop up. Look at the tyre already, it is absolutely cooked, but we are in front, well, apart from Luthi actually. Luthi is also one of the main rivals now because he's quite close, so Luthi is the one championship rival in front of us, but Navarro is now behind us. And I feel a bit bad for Della Porta because he went so slow, but then he got stuck on the wrong side of me when I made my mistake, which really forced him out wide, so he's probably quite far down the order. He didn't go into the grass luckily, otherwise he probably would have crashed. We're closing up to Bastianini now. Doesn't seem to have the pace of Tom Luthi ahead of him, so we'll probably be making a move on him very shortly. I don't think I can go with Luthi, but I think I can go quicker than Bastianini. Bastianini's gone defensive, so we swoop around the outside into this 13. I think he's probably going to hang on to it though because I've actually gone in quite hot. Yes, he has. So he's still got 2nd position for now, but we'll probably be sizing him up into this last corner, although I was not close enough to dive there, so I'm going to take a bit of... Oh, Navarro's looking at the inside of us now, so we've definitely got to try and make the move on Bastianini as soon as we can, although he's got away from us out that last corner, which is where I thought I was actually gaining the advantage on the AI, but I guess not. So we brake for the first corner. Obviously my braking zones are a tad different. But to be honest, I'm quite happy with up to third on the first lap. Luti's absolutely gotten away, so it looks like there's probably going to be a Tom Luti win on the inside of Bastianini there. The AI is so slow to like turn 3. You gain on them so much, although I've ran wide and that's allowed Navarro and Bastianini through on the power. Navarro's come flying past us side by side with Navarro again. The slipstream off of Bastianini though, which is helping us out. Obviously Navarro's not got that benefit. We've got the slipstream on Bastianini. We've gone flying past him actually. He slowed down a massive amount there. We've hit the brakes probably a little too late though. A little bit too late on the brakes. Into the gravel. Yes, we've gone off into the gravel. So we try and rejoin the circuit there. Now behind our other teammate Digi Antonio and Happy Siren. So we're down in 6th place behind Siren. Up the inside of Siren we go. We're going to be able to squeeze him out. No, I don't think so. He's probably going to hold it. No, we're around the outside of Siren. So we've got back in front of him now. Navarro's ahead of Bastianini. Oh! Up the inside goes Siren once again. So Siren not wanting to give up the position. Obviously in the rain. He is quite a good rider. Through turn 10 then. Hopefully Bastianini can hold up the pack because obviously that was a big mistake for me. Oh, contact with Siren now, damage as well. Really want him to just drop back and leave me alone now. He's been holding me up since we came back on the circuit. Digi Antonio is looking for a move. Yes, he's gone past Bastianini. So speed ups seem to be doing very well here because we've obviously got speed up 2.35 actually, but it hopefully will be 2.34 very shortly. I'd love it to be 2.34 but in a different order with me at the front, but I feel like I'm not able to actually catch back up to Navarro because Navarro was all over the back of me. Bastianini obviously really struggling since we got past him, ran wide and about to repass him again. Got the inside of the last corner. He's not quite left us the space. We've had contact with him. We've pushed him wide. I'm going to let him keep the position because I felt a bit bad about pushing him wide, but we've definitely lost contact to Digi Antonio now. He's going so slow on the straights. He must have a damage or a problem or something because we went blasting past him on the other straight as well, and then the same thing there. So we'll see if we can catch up to Digi Antonio now. Oh, well, the inside goes Nagashima. Nagashima absolutely sits us up there. So we're down into 5th place now. This feels like a bit of an Austin-style race. We're dropping through the order. We've got the run on him, though. Oh, we're still hanging on the inside. Bit of contact again. So we are really being aggressive people here. We are catching up to Digi, though. So perhaps I'll try and sit behind him. But no, we're back up the inside of him once again. I want to get a podium if I can try and get one. On the power slide in the rear end. But I think Nagashima's going to hang it around the outside. But we are gaining on Digi Antonio here ahead. Digi Antonio is almost at a high side. Same with Nagashima there. Digi's now looking back at us. Around the outside of Nagashima on the power. Coming towards probably my favourite corner on the circuit here. Around the outside we go. Obviously this is where Foggia crashed out the Moto3 race. It's not why it is my favourite, by the way. I just quite like it. I probably said then I didn't, but I have grown fond of it. But Nagashima's got back ahead of us. We're on the power though. And we're now back ahead of him again. So it's been a lap-long battle with me and Nagashima. We're all over the back of Digi Antonio now. So it's the battle for 3rd place between 2 speed-ups and I nearly said a KTM, but it's actually a Kalex now, isn't it? Obviously no more KTMs in Moto2. Oh! Nagashima's almost hit us at the back. Not sure where he's gone. Hopefully he hasn't gone off into the grass. No, he's still there. He just lost a lot of time from trying to dive bomb us there. Closing up to Digi, round the outside, up the inside we go. We've sat him up a little bit there. Don't want to set up my teammate, and that's allowed Nagashima straight through. That was very unfortunate, really. Digi Antonio down into 5th place. But we're still behind Nagashima. I'm probably going to go for a move on him into this right-hander, although that's where he tried to overtake us on the previous lap initially. On the brakes. I've let off the brakes, back on the brakes, let off the brakes, back on the brakes. Up the inside we go. Oh, we've properly forced him wide. This has been a very aggressive fight with Nagashima. I really want this podium. I don't want him to take another bout of points away from me. And it looks like Navarro is catching up to Luti. So actually, Navarro could do us a big favour here as a team. Obviously, constructors-wise, gain the 25 points, which obviously I'm unable to get in this round due to my lack of pace. And he could also knock... Yeah, in fact, Luti's now 2nd. It's not even Navarro in 2nd anymore. Nagashima dive bombs us. We're back up the inside of Nagashima. But Nagashima's desperate for this podium. So he got his win. But yes, when did Navarro take the lead? I didn't even notice that. When did Navarro take the lead? Baldassarre's down in 19th, I've just seen. So that is crucial stuff here. So we're only losing 4 points now to Luti, which is... Well, I'm quite happy about that. It's pretty fantastic. Side by side with Nagashima flying back on the inside. Nagashima really is wanting this podium, and I'm tempted to almost let him go at this point, just because of how much time it's costing me to try and hold him behind us, and we are running out of fuel as well. Oh, Balega's up the inside now as well, so we're down into 5th place. Navarro leads ahead of Luti in 2nd, of course. which is really helping us out, but we're down in 5th. We are struggling massively, and Digi Antonio is up to 6th, so seems like me and Digi are struggling, where Navarro is actually really doing well. 51.3, he's getting close to dry times. So as we start the final lap then, Luti is dropping back towards Nagashima, who's now just on the fastest lap of the race. Nagashima and Balega ahead of me are closing up to Luti because it's a pack of 3, so I'm hoping that they can get past Luti, and then my points deficit is virtually nothing, and if I can even get past Luti, that would be great, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, Balega's going for the move on Nagashima, I think. Nagashima's tyres seem to have dropped off. Looks like Luti's going to be safe for now in 2nd place, which is unfortunate. See, with me down in 5th. Although Bezecchi's coming up to the back of me, so I need to probably watch out for that. So we go into the last corner then, hopefully we don't get dive bombed by Bezecchi. Navarro wins, our teammate, so well done to him. Speed up getting another victory here in his career mode. Balega just not being able to get Nagashima in 5th place for us. Not a bad ride in KymiRing, to be honest. So yeah, a pretty mad race, to be honest. Very enjoyable, battling with Nagashima for quite a while. Obviously I made that mistake through the grass, had to fight my way back through. Going side by side with Bastianini for a little bit. Where did Bastianini actually end up? I have no idea. So Dalla Porta 16th. After the start, Bastianini 20th, Baldassarri 22nd, and Marini, I think Marini was a little bit further up the order, wasn't he? Luca Marini was in 12th. So we beat all the rivals except Luti, who's probably gained about 10 points on us, something like that, I think. Maybe not even quite that much. I think it might actually be 9 points. So it's probably not the end of the world here, because it's basically the same as me coming 3rd and him winning. So it's a good job that Navarro actually managed to take, obviously, those 5 points away from him. So yeah, if we actually look at the championship standings now, that puts Luti back up into 2nd. So I was saying in the last episode, he's putting himself back in contention. He's now my main rival. Tom Luti, after the last few races, has been fantastic. Nagashima moves ahead of Schrotter. Navarro moves ahead of Schrotter as well. Baldassarri's down 2 places, 84 points off me now. It's really looking bad for Baldassarri. But Luti, 69 points behind me. Not that far. Obviously, it's 70 still almost, but that's quite a bit. It's over 2 race wins worth, so we are pretty safe, which is why I didn't mind particularly that we couldn't do anything here. I was not going to push to the point where I was crashing trying to beat them. I probably could have put a little bit more into trying to catch them up, but I don't want to risk crashing or anything like that, so we'd already made that quite hefty mistake. Yeah, with Marini in 3rd place, obviously staying put because he overtook Baldassarri as well in that race, but he also got overtaken by Luti, so he's stayed put in the championship. So if you look at speed up racing, obviously we still had a very hefty amount of points scored because Navarro actually won the race. So even though I've got 201 points and he's got 81, he was the one that really brought home the big points today, which gives us a 118 point lead over Liquid Moly Intact GP and 161 over Sky Racing Team VR 46. So it looks like we're probably going to wrap up that title without too many problems. So we'll head into Parc Fermé and then the Career Hub then, and we'll see what we've got to do between now and the next race, which I think is Brno. So I think I said heading into Parc Fermé actually, but I completely forgot that obviously I don't get to see any sort of cutscene. I always forget that they seem to have removed the garage cutscene in this game, because you used to see a garage cutscene when you didn't actually finish on the podium, but it is gone. So in terms of reputation then, we gained 8,000, which is great, because obviously we had an off day and we didn't lose any, which actually brings us over the 200,000 mark that I was talking about last time, so we've now got 201,700 reputation points. And then obviously when you have a race like this is a good part about having a fixed salary. We still gained 6,028 credits, which brings us up to 233,321. And then obviously on the research data front, wow, we've got 8,468 on the engine now, 4,645 on the frame, and 1,417 on the electronics. That might be enough to not do free practice anymore. But we've got some notifications on the personal manager and the technical staff front. So we've got a new candidate available once again. Ooh, it's an A+. They don't get us as much money though when we sign, and they cost more, so I'm going to leave that for now. Probably have to start looking at maybe getting rid of some of these. She actually is the best one we've got though, to be fair, even though she costs more, so we'll refuse the others, and we'll keep Anita Perez for now. And we'll have a look at the technical staff. So who wants a new job? Isabella Ferreira wants a job again. Ooh, an A+ here, and really good on the engine, really good on the electronics. So that's actually the first one we've ever had that's really actually piqued my interest there. Obviously massive amount on the annual salary there, so perhaps I don't want to sign them yet. I perhaps want to keep them there ready for when MotoGP starts. So I'm going to reject all the other ones and keep that one. So with that then, the frame is done, so we can start having a look. Well, actually the frame isn't fully upgraded, but it's just got one more upgrade that's not necessary on there. Obviously enhanced cornering, but you can only have one or the other on, so there's no point developing both. If we look at the engine then, so what can we do now? So we'll improve the low and medium speeds then with this upgrade number 3. We'll develop it and we'll put everybody on it. How long will that take? 4 weeks then currently. Obviously we get a free week off that since there's still another week to advance. So then, with no notifications, we'll head straight into Brno and I will see you there in free practice. So then we're here in practice now, and obviously the first thing to do is the distance analysis as normal. Obviously it's a fully dry weekend this time, so haven't got to skip any practice sessions or anything like that. So coming over the line then at the end of the distance analysis, beating the time both times, getting perfect once again. So then the next thing to do obviously is the race simulation. Hopefully we'll be able to go a little bit quicker. We've got to do a 2:04, which we've already done, or 2 minute .4, sorry, not a 2:04. So we'll mount those recommended tyres, we'll fill up the tank, and we'll head out for the race simulation. So I actually just couldn't do the race simulation. I couldn't get really that close to the lap time. I think it's just because it's cloudy, the hard tyres was not working at all. So we'll head out and we'll do the quick lap simulation now. I don't think I changed the fuel, I think I accidentally pressed the wrong button. So yep, so we'll head out, hopefully we can actually beat that time, but I'm guessing we probably won't be able to. So as we come up towards the line then, are we going to beat it this time? I'm not sure we will. Yes we did, we just beat it, so we do get the maximum points down the quick lap simulation, but only just. Obviously with the AI being fantastically good at Brno, it makes these times very, very difficult to beat. And to be honest, I just really couldn't, on the hard tyre, I really couldn't do anything on the race simulation front. Obviously on the quick lap simulation I managed to do it. Maybe if I went out again, maybe I'd be able to do at least a couple of valid laps. But I just couldn't get anywhere near a 2 minute .4 if I'm honest. But I don't think it particularly matters anyway. I think we'll have probably got enough research data to complete the engine just from those two. So we'll head into qualifying now, and I hope we can try and pull out another good lap like a 59.1, but I think I'm definitely going to struggle. So a very strange top 3, obviously me being first is not too weird, but Bezzecchi in second and Lowe's in third, so it's nice to see some different people near the front. Navarro been on a bit of a resurgence in the last race. Will he be able to get another win in this one? It'd be very interesting to see. So we're here then now in qualifying, obviously it is sunny, so perhaps we'll be able to do a little bit better, and hopefully in the race it's not cloudy, maybe we can actually stick with the hard tyre without too many problems. So we'll head out. I need to actually change the fuel load. I haven't changed it down to 4 laps, so we'll head out and do a flying lap. So through the final turn, then the bike obviously turns a lot better with a softer rear on. Well, just fresher, softer tyres, and obviously hotter tyres as well. Not so cool anymore here at Brno since it's not so cloudy. Obviously the AI are very, very good at the circuit. They always have been on many of the MotoGP games. In fact, probably all of them. If we're being honest, they've always had very good pace at this circuit. In Moto3 we just managed to get the pole and the win, but I'm sure it was Antonelli that was giving us a good run for our money. And I think Foggia did briefly take the lead, and we had to dive back underneath him. And then he made a mistake right behind us, which dropped him quite far through the order. So we're not going fastest correctly through the first sector. So I wouldn't be surprised if once again we don't win here, but it'd be nice, it obviously would close up the championship a little bit if someone like Luthi could bring home the victory. But obviously I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. They'd have to beat me many, many times. I think if I even finished second to them in like every race from now, I would still win. So Luthi probably needs to, well, all of them really, because there's only 10 points between them, but they definitely need to start winning some more races, and they definitely need to all start beating me on a regular basis if they want any chance at this title. So we're 9 thousandths off currently in the second sector, so we fire it out going down the hill. Hopefully we'll actually be able to go red in the next sector towards the Schwantz curve. It's in the brakes of the Schwantz curve, gone a little bit actually very, very wide into it, but you can cut it back for a bit of a late apex and fire out anyway. Not sure who's actually behind us, so we might have overtaken them when they were coming up the pits, but I wasn't particularly paying attention, so I'm not sure who it is behind us, but we haven't dropped them completely, so fair play to whoever it is. Through turn 12 on the power, as we come up Horsepower Hill now, 0.9 of a lap left. We are now nearly 3 tenths under the time, so we gained a lot of time there, but the AI seem to gain quite a bit back here as well. Maybe that's just because I'm not very good at this sector, if I'm honest. I think it was the same in Moto3 actually. I think Antonelli almost had a move on me there on one of at the closing stages of the race. As we're coming up towards the line, then what's the time going to be? 1:58.9, so yes, in the sunny conditions we are a little bit quicker then. So we'll head into the pits and we'll see where that puts us. Hopefully that is pole position at the end of the session. Wow, so continuing the resurgence then, Luthi only 700ths off for me, so almost beating me there to pole position, but we did manage to hang on to it. Baldassarri as well, doing pretty well in third, only a 10th off. Schrotter as well, very close, and it obviously gets a bit further away. Marini down in 9th. Ever since he had those, you know, that run of good races, and then he sort of had a couple of other good races as well. He's not done that much, but Luti definitely seems to be the AI that's trying to take the championship away from me here. But like I was saying, they've got to do a hell of a lot to actually manage to beat me. But this race could be very interesting because I have no idea what tyres to go for. The hards felt awful in free practice, but so did the mediums, and I don't know if the mediums are going to wear out at this circuit now that it's not cloudy anymore. So then we're down on the grid, and I have decided to go for a soft front, medium rear, so we'll see how we get on with that. Hopefully we can try and hit the front and maybe make a bit of a break, but I just feel like that's not going to happen. Jesko Raff in there, down in 30th position. See one of the riders with a plain black helmet. I'm guessing the update for the helmets and stuff like that will be out very shortly for Moto2 and Moto3. They did say the end of May. Obviously there's still about a week, well there's over a week left in May, I think. No, there's not quite a week left in May. Anyway, that's beside the point, so hopefully before the end of the season there'll be an update out and the liveries will look a bit better, but if not, obviously it's not a massive shame. So we'll start the race now and hopefully we can try and bring home a victory. Obviously we haven't won in KymiRing, so hopefully we can try and get one win in this episode. So then, on pole position once again, Luti alongside us, Baldassarri on the front row. Really my main adversaries in the championship right there. Obviously Luca Marini a bit further behind. Light and away we go off the start. Bit of a wheelie, but actually not too bad. I think the upgrades are definitely coming in clutch now. The bike not wheeling so much. We actually keep the lead quite convincingly there as we go towards turn 1. Usually they'll at least pull alongside us, but that time very good. Crash behind. Luca Marini's actually down, so Luca Marini's gone down there. So that's one of the championship rivals potentially out of the race. It's a very quick place to crash at. It doesn't look like he's took anybody else with him though. Luti's still behind us. Baldassarri's still there as well, so Marini definitely falling out of contention a little bit in this championship. Obviously, he struggled a little bit the last couple of races. Another crash behind. Augusto Fernandez is down. I think he's took someone else with him. I don't know what the AI are doing, causing all these crashes on the first lap. But Luti's right behind me. I'm trying to get the power through the tyre. Even with this medium, it's still a little bit cold. But Baldassarri going side by side now with Tom Luti. That should buy us a little bit of time. Hopefully, if they can battle, they'll help me out. But I feel like they're going to be attacking me very, very shortly. So we go through turn 6 here. Trying to flick the bike over it. There's another crash. Augusto Fernandez is down again. So quite how that's happened. Because I feel like he wouldn't have been able to rejoin in front of anyone. Because of how early on in the race we are. How much they've crashed. There's a couple of people off the back of the group. So whether those guys are the two that crashed before. Or whether that's just people that got held up. There's another crash. Dalla Porta down now. Baldassarri trying to come up the inside. What is happening with all these crashes? We'll have to check that out at the end of the race. So many crashes here to look at. And obviously it's some key riders crashing out as well. We've gone very wide into the Schwantz curve. That's allowed. Baldassarri straight up the inside, but we're on the power. We're going to get back past him. We'll probably have to go for a bit of a dive into the uphill left-hander. Up the inside of Baldassarri. We've had contact with him. We've absolutely sat him up. We're going to have to probably let him back through there. Is he still hanging it through? He's still in second place. Luti's right there as well, so it's going to be hard to let him back through. I've kind of held him up again. I don't think I can now. Well, actually, I definitely can't. Schrotter's got the run. Schrotter's going to go for the lead, I think, as we go into the penultimate turn. Oh, he's dropped back behind. Actually, no, he's in second position now. Lowe's up in 5th place. I don't know what Lowe's, how Lowe's got up into 5th. Can it in 5th now? Luti's dropped so far down the order. There's just a massive pack of riders here. That's probably where all the crashes are happening. They're all so close, diving up the inside of each other. But Sam Lowe's doing very well in this race. Someone just come flying around the outside. Baldassarri, actually. So we've given the place back to Baldassarri now. However, unintentionally. Bezecchi's down now as well. So a really bad day for Sky VR46. Both their riders crashing out. Schrotter's up the inside. Chantra's now down as well. So many crashes. What is going on in this race? Sam Lowe's is in 4th place. Sam Lowe's is about to overtake us for 3rd place here. We've got the inside of Schrotter up the inside on the brakes. We're not going to get that one stopped, are we? Not a chance. So there goes Schrotter. There goes Lowe's. So Lowe's up onto the podium. Can Lowe's get a victory here in Brno? I'm kind of rooting for him. In fact, I'd really like him to try and get the points away from Baldassarri. So go on, Lowe's. Go for it. Lowe's is going for the move on Schrotter now. Lowe's is going for 2nd place in this race. Careful, Sam. Careful, Sam. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, and on the inside goes Canit. Canit goes on the inside of me. So Canit's trying to get past me. And Lowe's has got past Schrotter now. Canit's almost hitting us at the back. We have really not got the pace here in this race. We are holding up the AI. A massive treat here. Because look how much those three have already escaped at the front. Sam Lowe's looking to hunt down the race leader Baldassarri now. 59.4 there for Baldassarri. 201.9. We do not have any pace at all. And here goes Bastianini. Where has Bastianini come from? We're down in 5th position now. This is going to be a terrible race. Up the inside goes Nagashima. We're definitely going to lose some reputation if we finish here because we have to finish in the top 5 for our objective. Nagashima's through as well now, so we are really struggling. The tyre doesn't seem to be the problem. It just seems to be the lack of pace. We've got Canit is now trying to come past us as well. Canit is really been trying to overtake us for about a lap now, and he's still almost running us up the back in the middle of the corner. I think he'd have figured out a different tactic by now. Just pass me on the straight, it seems like, is the quickest way to do it. That's where all the other AI are doing it. Baldassarre is leading. I'm not too fond of that. Well, actually, is he? I see a white bike in second position, and that wouldn't be anyone at the front. So is Sam Lowe's actually in the lead now? I think he might be. I didn't see him overtake for the lead, but to be honest, I wasn't watching because I was focusing on trying not to lose too many places. Luti's down in 12th place. There's a crash. It's a crash. Remy Gardner's gone down. Oh, and he's took someone else with him. We'll have to look at that as well. Not sure who he's took with him. Nagashima's now looking for... It's Aaron Cannett. So, who is behind us? What abbreviation's that? It's Untitled Chapter behind us. I hadn't even seen that abbreviation before. I had no idea who that was. It's Untitled Chapter up in 7th place, and he's about to overtake the championship leader. So Lowe's is winning. Lowe's is actually winning the race ahead of Baldassarre. Fastest lap, 59.0. Go on, Sam. And who's got the slipstream on us now? I think it's still Istar behind us. And Bastianini seems to be dropping away from Nagashima as well. Obviously now that once they get past me, they can actually run their actual pace. It seems like I am definitely holding up the pack a little bit. I can't get the power through this tyre. Where is Navarro and Digi? I think the speed up just does not work at this circuit at all. There's a crash. Navarro's down, so my teammate's down out of the race. So that's not going to help us constructors-wise. Hector Garzo's down as well, so I think that's broke up the pack behind us. But we are definitely catching Bastianini, so 5th place. Good step on the cars! Martin dives on the inside of his massive contact there with Jorge Martin. How he stayed on the bike, I don't know. A bit of a reckless dive, to be honest. It's probably going to work for him, because he's definitely going to have the run up coming up the hill. Here he goes to the left-hand side as we go towards the penultimate turn. I really want to catch Bastianini. I need the 5th place. I don't want to lose any rep with the team, really, if I can help it. Although we're very secure in the contract, so it doesn't matter too much. But Lowe's now does a 58.7. How has he done a 58.7? I do not know. Round the outside goes Martin, but we've managed to block off that attack. Andy Marriott is going to make it 3 wide. No, we actually pulled ahead of both of them. So hopefully we can try and pass Bastianini on this last lap. We're really, really low on fuel, actually. 1.1 laps of fuel. That might not even be enough to get us to the end. Here comes Martin. Martin up the inside. He's going to cut us up. Yes, he is, a little bit. So Martin's finally got the move done. Farid Istar trying to come up the inside. Can Martin catch up to Bastianini? Maybe we can still overtake Bastianini, but just not for 5th. Maybe it'll have to be for 6th place instead. Or maybe even 7th if Istar gets his way about it. Bastianini and Martin going side by side. 2 Moto3 rivals going side by side in Moto2 here. Oh, he's just sat him up. So Bastianini down into 6th place now. I don't think we're actually close enough to catch Bastianini from this far back now. See, losing a lot of time at Istar. And here comes Jake Dixon. I don't want to be last Brit in this race. Jake Dixon's now making a move on Istar. For 8th place, I've ran really wide. Is that allowed Istar through? That's allowed Dixon through as well. Go on, Jake. Pass him and hold him up so I can get back in front of him. We've got the run as we go up the hill. On the inside of Dixon, I've hit Istar at the back a little bit. And my guy is very annoyed about that, apparently. On the switch back of the right hander, I'm sliding. I've got no grip at all. We're back in front of Dixon at least. Up the hill we go. Is Jake going to make a move on us? I do not want to be last Brit in this race, that's for sure. At 8th place, wow, this has not been a good race. Sam Lowe's wins in Brno. Sam Lowe's wins the race. Through the last corner then we go. Is Jake Dixon going to beat us up towards the line? We've got 0.3 laps of view. Yes, Dixon round the outside's actually done us here. Up towards the line, and we're going to be last Brit in the race. At 9th place. I'd say it's disastrous for the championship, but Baldassarre got 3rd place. I got 9th. So he gains about 10 points back on us, which just leaves our lead to be very, very similar as it was going into here. And it was a very healthy lead, around 70 points. We still beat Luti, and we still obviously beat... Luti was 12th there, so we actually gained a few points on Luti. We beat Marini. Marini almost got back up into the points after his first lap crash. That's an impressive performance, if you ask me. Remy Gardner also... well, actually, no, he came 2nd to last, obviously, after his crash, so not too well. Fernandez, Delaporta, Navarro, Garzo... all out. I completely read those in the wrong order, which is quite interesting, but I'm really surprised that the pace Lowe's had, because he's just cleared off. He won by about 2 seconds. I seen him coming through the pack, and then I saw him starting to make some moves, and I wasn't expecting him to win. We got beat by Istar and Dixon in this race. I mean, the other guys I can kind of, like, you know, I think all these other riders have beat us at some point in the season, but Istar and Dixon did really well there. Corsi almost beat us. We beat Digi, though. We're still at the top out of our team. So if we look at the Riders' Championship, actually we've still extended the lead because Baldassarre was that far behind. He's only moved to 75 points behind us, and we're now 72 points in the lead instead of 69, so we've gained another 3. Nagashima moving up to 5th in the championship. If he keeps getting good performances, he could end up getting 2nd in the championship. Yeah, this championship is wide open, well, for the guys behind me. My dominance seems to have ended a little bit in this one, but just I'm beating them in different races. So Luti beat me in KymiRing, and I beat Baldassari in Marini. Baldassari beat me in this race, but I beat Luti in Marini. So yeah, we're just sort of taking points off each other, but I'm still coming out on top. In the Teams Championship then, obviously not a great race for us. We actually do lose a few points there, but still 106 points in the lead is perfectly fine. Itel Trans as well, moving up to 7th. So we'll have a look at the replay now then, and have a look at some of the incidents that unfolded in that one. So we'll look on board with Marini. He tips into turn 1, clipped by Gardner, and down he goes. He didn't collect anyone else though. Obviously Gardner just clipped him. We got back on and came straight back into the circuit. Obviously no one though to look for, so it's alright. We'll watch it in slow-mo then. Obviously he's ahead of Gardner. Gardner just carries more speed, just clips the rear, and that just has him off just because of the lead angle he has. It's very unfortunate. Just one of those things that it does happen at a turn 1 every so often. So next crash to look at, sort of Fernandez. Oh, and he, very similar crash, actually gets clipped by a bike, and I think it's the other Sky VR46 bike actually. And off into the gravel he goes. I don't know if he collected anyone though, he might have collected Bezecchi with him. So we'll watch in slow-mo once again, then round comes Bezecchi. Bezecchi just clips him, and down goes Fernandez, although that's a terrible camera angle. If we watch from Bezecchi, actually, he was on the very inside of the track, Fernandez, and he sort of moves towards the middle. Bezecchi doesn't really react to that, and yeah, Bezecchi did go down as well, so that's who was collected. So on board with Dalla Porta then, he was the next one to go down. And again, pretty much another identical crash. The AI just gets clipped by another one, though this time Dalla Porta then got on the power and lost it. That's what seems to happen. I think he's retired here. Yes, he has. So once again, if we watch it in slow-mo, he just gets clipped. Then he's still on at this point, but then I think, yeah, the rear just comes round. I think he tried to get on the power to save it, but I don't think that actually had him off, like I thought initially. So down he goes, and that's Navarro come tumbling in. So we'll have a look at what happened to Navarro. I'm guessing he just got collected in that. So watch on board from Jorge then. Crash there for Dalla Porta, yeah, and he just gets collected by his bike. Very unfortunate there for Navarro. I thought Navarro crashed later in the race, if I'm honest. I think, though, a pack was starting to form at the back with all the people that had fell off. So you see at this point, Navarro is in front of Bezecchi. They've actually caught back up to the lead pack again. And this is what happened. He just rams whoever that is at the back. I think it was some cat Chantra. You can see obviously Marini in the background there. So that's how they caught back up to the pack very quickly, probably because I was holding them. And Bezecchi, and actually both of them get back on. So what happens to Sumcat here then? Because he just seems to have no drive all of a sudden. Did he have a mechanical? I don't know, because then he got back on and carried on. So I think the AI sometimes just slow down for no reason, because that's obviously... In fact, that actually happened to Bezecchi already this season in Qatar. Siren just slowed down in front of him for no reason and collected him, unfortunately. So poor old Bezecchi, not much luck in this series. Ah, so hang on, look at Remy Gardner here. You see, he slows down, and he gets hit on the back once again. So I think he did have... I think Remy Gardner actually did have a mechanical, although he's got back on. Because I'm sure the first time I played it, because I always play them to see if that's actually the bit where they crashed, I obviously have to skip forwards to see. I'm sure he put his hand up the first time. So if we watch on board Canet then, he's just coming out of this turn, and all of a sudden Remy just slows down and he just hits him. Bit weird, all these AI just slowing down, so just on the racing line. They both got back on. There's so many crashes in this race. This is the weirdest race I've ever done. Maybe bar that Misano race in Moto 3, although it was very close to this in terms of wackiness, with different people at the front and all sorts. So then reputation wise we lose 3,550. Obviously we're finishing 9th place is not the place you want to finish in, which actually takes us back below the 200,000, so we're going to have to wait till the next episode really to get that. We got it in this one, but we've lost it again. I don't know what was there in Brno. I just had nothing. I had like no pace the entire weekend. The AI were really fast. So we actually did slightly miss out on the research data there, because we've got 6,931 on the engine and 1,580 on the ECU and 5,083 on the frame, but I think we needed 7,000 for the engine actually, so we're missing about 70. So I think I don't think I'll bother doing the free practice. I think I'll just get that by doing research for a week. The weekly production should easily give us that once we've done the next upgrade. So then we've got a notification on the technical staff front, another Isabella Ferraria applying for a position. Better on the engine than the one we've currently got, that we've got on reserve. Better on the frame, quite a lot worse on the electronics, but a lot cheaper, so we'll definitely keep them on board. Obviously you can have up to 5 at a time. But I think that's where we'll end it for this episode then. A very unsuccessful episode for myself really, but we've actually extended our championship lead. So even though we've had terrible races, and we definitely could have extended by a lot, obviously if you think about Luti being 12th, you know, Marini crashing out, we could have gained 20 points on those guys. But I hope you have enjoyed that episode. It's probably the best one there's been so far in terms of all the action that was happening, different battles with different people, battling with Nagashima in both races there. battling with lots of different riders we don't usually see at the front, obviously because I wasn't actually at the front. But very, very odd races nonetheless. So like I said, I hope you did enjoy that one. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next video.